at you all the way from our dorm rooms to your conference rooms. Sabah and Dan Teeman here, two college students who are ready to talk to you guys about business and lifestyle from our personal experiences.
Each week we'll discuss about our lifestyle as college students as well as our tips and strategies starting in the business field. We'll bring on successful entrepreneurs in the millennial generation to share with us their journey and how they got started and where they're at now.
Our goal is to help you students, millennials, and entrepreneurs gain inspirational advice via our spontaneous conversations and meaningful guidance. Let's dive on in.
What's going on, everybody? Here on episode 2, we're going to be talking about the power of networking right here at Dorm Rooms to Conference Rooms podcast. Sabah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So excited to talk about networking today.
Yeah, so networking is a crazy thing. It can really bring you a lot of opportunities in your life, and it can really bring you a lot of value. So why do you think we should be networking?
So, especially in college, I feel like networking is a really big thing that college students should do because, like, for one, obviously people go to college because they want to look for a job after they graduate, but people don't realize that you really need to go to, like, conferences and networking events where you can meet these CEOs of big companies or companies where you want to work at, because once you meet people, you don't know like what opportunity they will give to you or who they know.
So where I come into the problem is Sabah goes to Iowa State, which is a big college, so they have a lot of networking events. Whereas my small school, we have to really rely on our Chamber of Commerce. They have a lot of networking events for young professionals, just as myself. So if you go out there, they have things at night at bars. They have things during the day, networking at noon events. Let's go get lunch with these people. So why you should network? I mean, humans are social beings. We're constantly interacting with one another. We need to be talking. We need to interact. We need the personal connection. And when you create these personal, meaningful relationships, you get a lot of value out of them. I mean, the people can help you land jobs, get promotions with inside the company you're already at. You can do a lot more things that you don't know who those people know. You know, all you are one step away or one conversation away from your next $1 million sale, and I believe that's so true. So how do you try to network with people, Sabah? What do you do?
Yeah, so like for me, it's pretty much just like going to different events, taking every opportunity that you have. And it's like, because you don't know the people that you meet, how they can help you in the future. Like for one, I mentioned this in our last podcast show, how I met Brandon T. Adams, who's now my mentor. I work with him. He's now my business partner. I met him a year ago, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't take different opportunities and network at different events that I have here at Iowa State University. So how to network, especially for college students, it's pretty easy because there's a lot of events going on in college. So like Dan, like what you say, there's some during school, there's some at bars, like different social events, like with clubs and stuff like that. Like take those opportunities, meet people, because that's how you can find those jobs, those internships and stuff like that.
Yeah, so for us, how I try to network is I just try to build a personal relationship, really find a connection between me. I got big into networking when I turned 18. I was working in downtown Chicago at a $1 million bar, like I talked about in the last episode as well. At that bar, I had my boss tell me one day that he has a guy for everything. He has a guy for napkins, has a guy for cups, has a guy for food, has a guy for beer, obviously, the most important thing at the bar. But that really opened up my eyes. And ever since then, 3 years ago, I've collected every single business card that's come my way, whether it's at a store and someone randomly hands me a business card. I just put it in my pocket, add it to the stack, because you never know when those are going to come in handy. I suggest everybody just taking as many business cards as you can that come your way throughout college, because each one of those people are a connection later on that can really help you out. When we go out for jobs, our biggest problem is as college students, we don't have the connections that a lot of these jobs would like us to have to give them for another sale or another lead into an opportunity. So that's what some of the biggest thing. I mean,
yeah, that's very true, because like people don't realize like the people that you hang out with, you are the sum, like you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So like if you want to start a business, if you want to get better I don't know, singing, dancing, whatever it is, like whatever your passion is, you need to find those people who have already done what you did. And by doing that, you need a network and then surround yourself by those 5 people, because like the people that you hang out with, that's who you're going to become. And I can't stress that enough. Like for me, like from the people that I've met, like Brandon Adams, like you, Dan, and other people that I've met. Like, so through Brandon, I met John Lee Dumas, Kevin Harrington, like big name people that I couldn't have met if I didn't network and build relationships with those people. And like through that, you can like build partnerships, help them, add value to them, because that's really what it is. Because if you add value to them, they'll give you advice on whatever it is that you're working on as well.
I mean, we did the Brandon T. Adams Accelerator program last month or month and a half ago for 4 weeks, or for 6 weeks actually. We connected with lots of different people. We met people that know how to write, how to write better than anyone else I've ever met before. We met people that know the heads of Warner Brothers, that do things with TMZ and different TV show hosts. And we also even have a lady that could launch products into market. We have met so many great people through networking, and our network is just so huge that we could literally do anything that we want.
Yeah, definitely. So for me, last year, I interned for the Young Entrepreneur Convention. That was with Brandon T. Adams. He put on this event in Des Moines, Iowa. There's probably around like 500 attendees for this time around. It's going to happen again this year. But I met a lot of people. I met speakers. So for example, Kevin Harrington, he was a speaker there. John Lee Dumas, Greg Roulette, who is now a business partner with Brandon. They're working on a reality TV show, Ambitious Adventure. So that's like pretty awesome. But for me, like I met a lot of people through that conference, because for one, I helped put it together. I was there all day, and then like, especially if you go to these type of conferences, they're all like-minded individuals, like how we are right now. Like they're passionate about what they're doing. They want to help other people. So if you need help with like whatever it is you're doing, if you're starting a business, a podcast, whatever it is, like launching a product, go to these events, network with people, because that's how you can get better at yourself, your business, and then they will help you as well. What about you, Dan?
I wanted to say that I was actually talking earlier about how a lot of these lead to job promotions are finding jobs, and I think our school reported a statistic saying that 60 to 75% of all jobs and promotions have been done through networking. So we host a couple things here at school. I've gone to the networking and new events through our Chamber of Commerce. So I've had lunch with heads of companies, with different entrepreneurs in the area. At school here, we have an etiquette dinner. So you sit down with like the heads of John Deere, with Caterpillar, which are huge out here in the Quad Cities where I am. And you just talk to them, you get to interact with them, you get to learn from them. Because networking, you could usually find a mentor from that, and that mentor wants to see you grow. So when you network with influential people and you get on their side, they'll mentor you to help you grow in whatever it is that you want to do. It's really big.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, and just recently I went to a conference down in Tampa, Florida. It's a CEO conference that happens every year, and through that, I got the opportunity to meet Forbes Riley, who is good friends with Brandon T. Adams and Kevin Harrington. And I got to have dinner with her and learn about her. She's like the billion-dollar lady. She's works with like Kevin Harrington for infomercials. She sold $1 million products like her spin gym and stuff like that. But like for me, that was like very big, because she's done so much already in her career, and for me, I wouldn't have had that opportunity to network with her if I didn't go to that conference. So it's really about going to these places to network, because like in college, like sometimes it can be hard, like because you're just surrounded by your friends and stuff, but you really need to go to these places to network with these big name people.
And then once you meet them, you have to follow up. You have to go out of your way for them. You have to make an effort to really follow up with them and interact with them on a constant basis. I remember when I was trying to network with Brandon at first, I was messaging him every other day or so, just trying to really get on his side, get within his network, really learn from him, things like that. I mean, there are different ways that you can even reach out to him through social media, through their own webpage. They always have contacts. You just have to send the email, because what's the worst they're going to do is not respond. But there's nothing ventured, nothing gained. Your network is your net worth. That means however great your network is, that's how much you're really worth at the end of the day, and how much you could add value to somebody else.
Right, and that's so true, because it is about what you know, but it's more about who you know and like how they will help you and how you can help them as well. Because it's like, for me, I had this internship this past summer, And the reason why I got this internship was because I was consistent on following up with the recruiter who recruited me. So I probably applied to like numerous internships. And for each one, I kept following up with them because they're recruiters. They could probably get so many emails. But the reason I got mine was because I was consistent with reaching out to her through like social media, through emails, whatever it is. And that's why I got that internship, because she was like, oh, you're so consistent. You followed up on everything. Like, I actually showed a lot of interest in that job, in that internship. So do that once you meet that person. Like, if it's even like if you go to a job interview or if you go to career fair for college students, if you meet that person who's like a CEO of a company, a recruiter, meet them and then right away do a follow-up email, because that makes them thinking about like, oh, they're actually thinking about me, like they want to work for my company. So that's like a better way to get your name out so that they'll remember you better.
And if an influencer that you want to get into doesn't respond the first time around, send that second email, that third email, that fourth, the fifth, and the sixth until they respond, because you will notice that they'll notice constantly this guy just keeps popping up on your radar, and eventually they're going to contact you and be like, hey, I see that you keep trying to interact with me. What's going on? What can I do for you? How can I help you out? And you have to return that value back to these people. You have to show that you're valuable to them when you're trying to network with them. Don't just try to pick their brains. Don't just try to do that. Add value to them when you're networking and show them that you could really help them out in some way.
Yeah, definitely. It can like literally be as small as just like sending thank you message or just like have a great day type of thing, because like people will like catch on to like you constantly like messaging them, following up to them. Like it can be as easy as like liking their things on social media and like following up with like, oh, great things that they're doing. Like, for example, for me, I've been doing like Facebook Lives and stuff like that, and people, they've been like following, like reaching out to me and stuff like, oh my gosh, you're doing so great. But then like in return, I see them starting to do stuff like that also. So like just recently, like one of my friends, she did like a Facebook Live, and it was because she's been seeing like me do it, and like I reached out to her. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And like she was that type of person who like she's very shy like to herself. So I was like really happy and excited that she did that. So yeah, just like follow up with people, reach out to them, network. Like that's like really what it's about.
And because of networking, we're going to be bringing to you guys some top entrepreneurs within different communities, people that are worth millions of dollars at the end of the day with their net worth, people that have opened up photography, that have done, that have just done amazing things, and that's all through networking. And through networking, we teamed up with the University of Young Entrepreneurs and Brandon T. Adams to bring to you guys a college accelerator program that jumpstarted Sabah and I into doing this and jumpstarted our businesses to a whole nother level. Through this, Sabah, Brandon, and I, we help you jumpstart where you're at. We'll teach you how to use new Facebook marketing techniques. We'll teach you how to use Snapchat, the nomad land of the internet people, the sensation of working from wherever you want to be can happen now through our help. You can find Sabah at sabahali.com. You can find myself at danieltiemann.com. Really, we just want to help you guys out at the end of the day, and it could be a huge help. Sabah, what are some final words for you?
Yeah, guys, you guys should definitely check out that program. That is like the number one thing that you guys can definitely join in college to network, because that's where I met Dan. That's where we met a whole bunch of other people who are in our previous accelerator program. And if you are really like ask yourself this, like how bad do you want it? Whether it's starting a business, doing a podcast, inventing a product, whatever it is, how bad do you want it? And you really need to find that team, find those people who can help you as well. So check it out.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Dorm Rooms Conference Room Podcast. Remember to subscribe. If you haven't joined our accelerator program yet, you can join at livetogrind.com/college. Seats are limited, so join today.